well, this is what I reckon. So McIntyre, one of the centre backs, and along. What's funny about that? I was giving you chocolate for.
It's not.
There's no right or wrong answer, mate.
I
Just what I would
know.
do. All right, chuckly. Yeah, McIntyre.
Here we go. It's Pompey Pod with Mike and Dan. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Michael.
Good evening. Good evening. This is post Sunderland. We have lost another away game, 1-0 to Sunderland. Let's get to it, Dan. Let's talk about the game. A lot of people saying we were unlucky. Your thoughts?
I was quite disappointed by the whole game, really, and the reason was because I thought Sunderland were well off it. I thought they weren't half as good as they have been most games this season. I thought we had some good some good areas. That was the thing. We were getting in good areas a lot, especially in the first half. But I don't know. We just seemed to lack conviction or confidence going forwards, which I thought was surprising for a team that's scored quite a few goals recently and having goals coming from different players. Just I don't know. I just thought it was quite an irritating game and
Little bit panicky, weren't we?
really panicky. Just in like the final third, Murphy had 2 or 3 chances and the ball across to Bishop. He didn't even look up. He just assumed Bishop would be there and just he could have had a shot with his left foot. Just little things like that, and that's why I just thought it was disappointing. Yes, we've only lost 1-0 to Sunderland, and it was a better performance away from home. But I do just think Sunderland weren't great, and if you're going to win away at Sunderland or get points away at Sunderland, that was the day to do it. But then we've seen some this season, haven't we? So that was, I suppose, a slightly better performance.
It was a better performance, but like you say, I think they were there for the taking. But then, even though they were there for the taking, if you look at the stats, they still had the majority of the chances, and was still a lot better than us. I think it's just one of those games. Again, I don't think we're particularly on it. Let's talk about the goal, because I was watching on Sky and had the pleasure of Ian Dowie, who I didn't think was too bad, apart from the fact that he kept really slating Schmid about the goal and his general play. And he didn't have the best first half, did he, Schmid?
He didn't, no.
He kind of kept kicking it into play and was a little bit panicky with his kicking. But did he do that much wrong on the goal? I know he probably came out a little bit too quick, didn't he? But it wasn't horrendous goalkeeping by any means, was it?
No, and sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say there was clearer mistakes made in the build-up to the goal, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, I mean, once again, we're sort of 15 minutes into a game and we're already being caught with the ball behind our defence with a guy running clear onto goal, which is happening sort of every game. But no, I don't think you can blame Schmidt. I think he's saved a lot of one-on-ones, hasn't he? So if he's gonna come off his line and save sort of 6 or 7 shots out of 10, then you're going to take those odds, aren't you? And he's not going to get them all. So I don't think you can really blame him.
No, I agree. It's just kind of what was frustrating is that came from our own throw-in in their final third.
Yeah,
and it's just an uncharacteristic poor touch from Lang straight to their player, and then he's run 40 yards, 50 yards unchallenged. And fair enough, I can understand why Pack's backing off because he's obviously frightened of his pace, but he's backing off, and then it's kind of it's an easy ball through, isn't it?
It is easy. That's the disappointing thing. It's just a straight ball in between our back line, and like I say, he's just clean through with just the goalie to beat.
and sigh. I actually thought we were okay though. Although again, they had the better of the chances in the first half. At that stage, I thought, oh, here we go. This could be a mauling again. Could be another Stoke, Derby, Cardiff, etc. But it wasn't. We kind of rallied and we played okay. I thought it was strange, wasn't it? Because I thought we did look nervous at the back. I thought, and we looked nervous or panicky up top. I didn't think Lang had his best game or one of his better games for us. I thought he was a little bit off the game, but I thought also it just seemed as if we were really compartmentalised in a way because we were kind of nervous at the back. I thought the midfield actually did okay against a good Sunderland midfield. I thought Sunderland midfield were kind of on it, and I thought the midfield did okay. I thought Zell and Potts were both all over the place. But I just thought Lang just seemed isolated at times. It just seemed, and I think, and I don't want to. I'm certainly not blaming Paddy Lane for this, but I think he again just where Lane lacks that little bit of quality. I think it kind of makes a big difference. I was disappointed not to see Richie come back into the side really for that game.
Yeah, I thought he was a definite. I thought that would have been the swap. I thought it would have been the same team, but with Richie in for Lane. Oh, that's just done something funny there. Yeah, and there were a couple of times when Lane had a chance of getting a cross in, but didn't. And I think Richie would have definitely tried to swing a cross in.
Get in earlier.
But then again, as I also said, I would have put money on Richie getting sent off anyway, because I think he's desperate to get a red card at some point. And I thought it would have been a good one away to Sunderland, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have rather seen Richie start. I assumed that's why he was being rested against. Obviously not.
Obviously not. It would seem not. Okay, so whilst you mentioned red card there, Marlon Pack, clearest red card you're going to see on you, despite his wagging of the finger.
Yeah. Despite his 5-second protestation. No, I didn't touch him, and then he went red card. Oh yeah.
Yeah, fair. You got me, governor. You got me.
I'm off.
It's a fair cop.
Just put your foot through it, isn't it? That's just the midfielder in him, isn't it? Trying to take a touch or trying to let the ball come across his body. You can't do that when you're the last man.
No.
Yeah, and that killed the game then, didn't it? Because any chance we had of getting an equaliser, I think that was it. And then Sunderland sort of just dominated possession from then on, didn't they?
Yeah, could have had a couple more really Sunderland after that, couldn't they? And we didn't have our first shot until was it like the 90th minute when Moxon had that shot? It wasn't far off, was it? That was first shot on target. It's one of those games, isn't it? You kind of, if you looked at the away fixtures, you'd probably say, okay, if we or our recent form away from home, you'd probably look at it on paper and say, actually, 1-0 away to Sunderland isn't that bad. But what is bad is if you look at our away form since we beat QPR, which seems like forever ago, doesn't it? We have played 8 away from home, lost 6, drawn 2. That's a worry, isn't it?
Yeah. Who did we draw to?
Hull and Swansea, and even Swansea, we got battered second half, didn't we?
And we were 2-0 up in that game. Yeah.
2-0 up.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's not good. We're sort of relying on home form at the minute, aren't we?
We've got some big home games to come, haven't we? So looking at the fixtures that are coming up, we will talk about Wickham in a little bit. But
are you not going to talk about the new guy? Because I've got.
I'm going to talk about new guy. Yeah.
I've got some.
We'll come back in a moment. But we'll talk about Wickham. We're not going to do a preview of Wickham because it's an FA Cup and we just can't be asked, quite frankly. We will talk about it in a little while, a little bit. But there are some tricky games coming up, aren't they? Blackburn away, and then we've got Middlesbrough at home, Stoke at home, West Brom, and then Millwall. And then Burnley. So it don't get any easier.
Yeah, but I think the 2 home games, Middlesbrough and Stoke, I think you can definitely get something against Stoke. Or they battered us at their place, but they're not doing great. Middlesbrough, I didn't think they were brilliant. We drew up there, so I don't see any reason why we can't get anything against them.
They're quite indifferent, aren't they? Particularly away from home.
Yeah. Although looking at the table, they are 5th, aren't they? So.
Yeah. They're doing all right. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Rob Atkinson. I want to talk about the social media reaction first of all, because most of
that's funny you should say that, because I've got a few comments here.
Most of what I saw were prejudging the fact that he hadn't played for 18 months or so. Go on, what have you seen?
So we had that before. We chatted about that, didn't we? About the comments from people before we'd even kicked a ball. Yeah, so he came on. I thought he did all right. I thought he did okay. But
quite solid,
I'm just worried, just concerned that people are now gone completely the opposite way.
No, he's the Messiah.
Of the things that I've seen. Well, apparently so. So you've got he was class today, for the 20 minutes he played. He played a blinder and there was another one which I can't find, which is something like he's going to be a legend or something like that.
Legend.
Something as ridiculous as
already
that.
a legend. He's already a legend.
And I thought he did all right when he came on. I thought he looks,
Yeah.
he's definitely going to be better than what we've got. He's definitely what we need. But I just thought let's just not
calm it down.
Just not get too just calm it down. Let's just not get too excited at the minute.
And you should never get too attached to a lone player anyway, because it's highly unlikely. He's here to get fitness, isn't he? There's no two ways about it. And ultimately, he's going to get fitness. He's going to get game time quicker than probably expected, because Pack's obviously out for a few games now. I thought he did okay. So he did okay.
Yeah.
The concern for me is not even so much his injury record, because injuries happen, don't they? Everyone has major injuries, and some of the players who've had major injuries and still have great careers. But more for me is how many left-sided centre backs we need. It's kind of just about you've got McIntyre, Towler, Shaughnessy, now Atkinson. They're all left-sided, and I know some people say, well, if you're left-footed, right-footed, it shouldn't really matter that much, does it? But I think at that level, it kind of does, doesn't it? I think if you're a left-footed player playing on the right side of the fence, even just little things like going in for a challenge, you want to lead with your stronger foot, don't you? And that's dangerous if you're challenging in and around the box.
Yeah. I suppose it's not as bad as it would have been if we got a left-sided player, if we had too many left-sided players last season, because we played the ball out from the back. So he'd be receiving the ball a lot from the keeper. But we sort of go long as much as we can now, don't we?
Yeah.
So missing out on the defence and midfield. So I guess from that point of view, it's not so bad. But yeah, I know what you mean. It does seem like we do have a lot of left-sided players. But they're professionals, Mike. They can deal with it. It should be both. It should be two-footed.
They can. Yes, I guess so. Yeah, they should. Because that's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just because you're a professional, you should be able to use both feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
unless you're left-footed and you can only use your left foot, then
you can only ever use your left foot. Yeah. Right. So Rob Atkinson, I thought he did okay. I thought he was all right. He's solid. Looks like he'll be a decent addition, doesn't he? As long as he stays fit. So well done him. Well done him. Okay, let's talk about the FA Cup game. Do we care about the FA Cup game? First question.
I personally don't. I think you've got with the squad we've got, you want to rest players now. You want to rest our players due to the fact that we do have so many injuries. So, and we know that our squad isn't great. So if we are resting our better players, the chances are we're not going to go very far in the FA Cup. But yeah, I'm not too bothered. Like I said, it would be nice to beat Wickham. It would be nice to get a Premier League team at Fratton Park in the next round, but I'm not overly bothered.
That's all you're playing for, isn't it? You're just playing for a big side in the next round.
Yeah.
And a bit of a banging game, good atmosphere, and hopefully a home draw.
Have you done your team?
At all. Yeah, I've done my team. How many? What is the overview? Do you think he changes if you were the manager? Because I don't think he will make wholesale changes. But if you were the manager, would you?
Well, I've gone virtually every player. Player. Yeah.
Go on. In goal?
I'll tell you. So I've got Archer in goal.
Yeah. Back four?
Yeah. Back four. So I've gone Swanson right back, Devlin left back, because I think he'll have to. Well, Ogilvy needs a rest, Mike. You can chuckle all you like, mate. But he's playing every game. Farrell is injured, so
he's on his way back. Apparently, he won't be back by this weekend, will he?
Okay, no. And I think Devlin would be able to. I think Devlin's the only player that could possibly deputise at left back, and then I think he'll go. Well, this is what I reckon. So McIntyre, one of the centre backs, and along. What's funny about that? There's no right or wrong answer, mate. Just what I would do. All right. Chuckly. McIntyre alongside either Towler or can you bloke play? He can play in the FA Cup, can't he?
So I think so. Towler with us for the rest of the season.
Yeah, McIntyre and Atkinson / Towler. And then midfield would be Lane one side, Silvera the other, Moxon and Kamara with Sadie just in front and the wonderful Sorensen up top. Because Bishop already needs a rest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've gone very similar, despite my chuckles. Although I've played Towler and Atkinson at the back, just because I think it might be worth using this game to try and get them to get a little bit, because they're clearly going to start the next league game, aren't they? So,
good point.
And I put Ogilvy as a left back because I completely forgot that Devlin could probably play. And actually, I've got a completely different back four to you because I put Williams in at right back. So
I did think about Williams. I think if he's, because he was on the bench, wasn't he?
He was on the bench. Yeah.
So I did think if he's fit enough, then I think he'll start. He might even go in at left back.
Yeah. And I don't know whether, I believe Blair might be injured, so I don't know whether he'll play or not. But if he's fit, surely he's got to get a game, isn't he? You've got to give Blair a bit of a.
Well, I'd like to see Kamara have a go out of everyone. I'd like to see him start a game because he's done. He's only had three or four sort of cameos. First game he did really well when he came on, but I'd like to see him have a go. So I'd like to see a virtually changed team. I don't think it's important, and it'd be nice just to see what some of these players can do.
And I think you need to, don't you? You need to, like you say, rest the players. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If there's anyone out there that thinks, does anybody care about this FA Cup game? Surely the Championship is all that matters. It's all that matters, isn't it? Staying in the Championship.
Try and win it. You won it.
Got to try and win it.
Won it 2008.
17 years ago. 17 years ago now. It's mental, isn't it? Doesn't seem that long ago. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think there'll be wholesale changes? What do you think about our away form? What a stupid question. No one's going to go, I think it's great.
Well, I don't know. The same people that think we're going to win the FA Cup. And that Atkinson's the new Messiah.
What do you think? Well, I think Silvera won't play just because I think he'll be going back. I think there's a lot of talk that he will be going back. I know we can't send him back, but I think Middlesbrough will want him playing somewhere else, won't they? So I think they're probably looking into where they can send him elsewhere. But who else do you think we need? We've got one through the door nice and early, which is good. Rob Atkinson looks decent. We obviously still need more bodies. There's no doubt about that. But let us know in the comments. Give us your score prediction for Wycombe. What do you think the score will be, Dan? Let's say we play those teams that we've just mentioned. What do you think the score will be?
No, I think we'll be all right. I think because
Sorensen,
we're now a quality Championship team, even though Wycombe are doing very well. It's right down to League One, isn't it? We're too good for that. Too good for League One these days. They were top at one point, weren't they? Oh no, because
they're up there.
They're second now, which is good because they're
above
Wrexham.
Anyone
that's above Wrexham is
good in your book.
Good in my book.
Yeah. So let us know. What do you think? What do you think the score will be this weekend, Friday night, under the lights on Sky? I think
Sky don't do FA Cup, do they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think BBC have got some Premier League, all Premier League game, Villa against West Ham or something like that.
Ah, excitement. The excitement of the FA Cup. Let's do a Premier League versus Premier League.
Yeah, just because we can.
Yeah.
So that is it from the Pompey Pod. We'll be back next week with a review of the game against Wycombe in the FA Cup. Play up, Pompey. Goodbye.
Bye.